Good day, sir. This is MB'BALS together with MAM member Jeremy Dumantnagan Ara Lucia Mabanta. Today we are going to report about the Philippine environmental laws. First is, what is environmental law? It is a collective term encompassing aspects of the law that provide protection of the environment. A related but distinct set of regulatory regimes now strongly influenced by the environmental legal principles focus on the management of specific natural resources such as forests, minerals, and fisheries. It is also defined as a complex and interlocking body of statistics, common law, treaties, conventions, regulations, and the policies, and it operates to regulate an interaction of humanity and the rest of biophysical or natural environment for the purpose of reducing or minimizing the impacts of human activity both on natural environment for its own sake and on humanity itself. Now I'm going to tackle about the what are environmental law based on 1987 Constitution. The 1987 Constitutional spells out our national policy on the protection of our environment in a lot of ways. The present provision in our fundamental law are more forward-looking than our 1973 and 1935 Constitution. Environmental law is still at its cradle years in our country, although the embryo of environmentalism has long been implanted in our consciousness by our indigenous customs and traditions. It has not until recently been translated into a body of coherent national policies and legal principles. The glacial growth of environmental law in the country may be attributed to the fact that the foremost part of our existence as a nation, activities inimical to the environment were minimal. The 1987 Constitution broke ground when it is proclaimed in Section 16 of Article 2, also known as Declaration and State Policies, which states shall protect and advance the right of the people to balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of the nature. It also provides for the protection of preferential rights of subsistence fishers and local communities in the use of in-hand and of offshore fishing resources and provide for the support in the conduct of their livelihood. The 1987 Philippine Constitution provides that the state shall protect the nation's marine wealth in its archipelagic water, territorial sea, and economic zone, and reserve its use and enjoyment exclusively to Filipino citizens. The 1987 Constitution also takes due account of the high impact of developmental activities to the distinct welfare of our indigenous people. Thus, it mandates the state to give due regards to the rights of the indigenous cultural communities to their ancestral lands to ensure their economic, social, and cultural well-being. To make sure that these constitutional commitments do not become mere dreams or oratorical pieces, the legislator has enacted laws to enhance and safeguard and the integrity of our environment. So, that's all for my topic, and here is Ara Lucia Mabanta for his report.
The mantra is reduce, reuse, and recycle, otherwise known as the 3 Rs. The 3 Rs of solid waste management occurs in the order of ranking or priority of the actions that can be taken to help cut down on waste. The 3 Rs of waste management is also called hierarchy of waste management. The 3 Rs of waste management stands for reduce, reuse, and recycle. Human-produced waste that continually result in environmental degradation, a common type of garbage, is the municipal solid waste, which is a general waste collected by the municipalities or by the cities. It is generated mainly by household street sweeping, commercial activities, and the construction or demolition debris. This can be from farming to routine food consumption. It may not be possible to eliminate waste disposal but we can make a significant contribution to cut waste generation down to action the 3 R's waste management. The first R in the 3 R's of waste management stands for reduce. It entails taking steps to assess reduced trash. We can assess limit the amount of garbage that goes into the trash bin by refusing to buy items that we don't need or purchasing multi-purpose objects. Reducing is simply creating less waste. It is the best method for keeping the environment clean. The second R of the 3 R's of waste management stands for reuse. It refers to repurposing an item or using it for a different purpose. It occurs when we can use a thing in a new or a different way that it was intended. It also entails giving goods to others rather than throwing them away. Instead of throwing broken pieces in the trash, they can be used. Example, containers can be reused at home for school projects. Old towels and sheets can be cut in small pieces and used for dust cloth. Reuse wrapping paper, plastics, bags, boxes, and lumber. The third R in the 3 R's of waste management stands for recycle. To recycle means to change or transform waste and non-usable items into raw materials that can be utilized to make new items. Recycling saves energy and minimizes raw materials use. It also minimizes pollution in the air and water. Recycling materials can assist to save the environment and return it to its natural state.
Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. Definition: refers to the systematic administration of activities of waste. Segregation is the sorting and separation of waste types to facilitate recycling and correct onward disposal. Transportation is the movement of waste over a specific area by trains, tankers, trucks, barge, or other vehicles. Storage, a room or structure for the intended purpose of storing waste containers and other materials such as appliances and bulky items. And processing, by reducing or eliminating the generation of harmful and persistent wastes. Waste minimization supports efforts to promote a more sustainable society. The importance of Republic Act 9003 is the most important reason for waste collection is the protection of the environment and the health of the population. So, without protecting and taking care of our environment, we're putting so many lives at danger, such as animals, plants, and crops, and even our own. All of the ecosystems that make up our environment are deeply connected. So what are the prohibited acts in Republic Act 9003? Number 1 is the littering, throwing, dumping of waste matters in public places. So it is the throwing garbages in the non-designated areas. Number 2, undertaking activities in violation of sanitation operation. It means that it is the uncleaned kitchen or areas where you put your edible things such as food. And also there unclean means that there are many pests lurking in a certain area. Number 3, open burning of solid waste. So this open burning of solid waste is burning of waste without authorization. Number 4, causing non-segregated waste. The non-biodegradable and biodegradable are mixed. Number 5, squatting in open dumps and landfills. So the meaning of this is the individuals is picking useful garbages in landfills. So let's go to penalties and fines. So what are the penalties of fines in Republic Act 9003? The penalty of imprisonment of 6 months and 1 day to 6 years, or the prison correctional, and 1 day, and a fine ranging from 600 pesos to 4,000 pesos shall be imposed upon any person who shall violate section 13A to C of this act and shall not be covered by the provision law. So the penalty and the fines are vary of what you have violate in Republic Act 9003. If committed by foreigner, if the foreigner violates the Republic Act 9003, after the foreigner serving his sentence, he must be deported and barred after serving his sentence. And if committed by corporation, association, and business entities or establishments, the president who tolerate the violation of this act will be criminally liable as co-principal. So before this video ends, let us watch the simple presentation. Garbage trash in order to segregate the waste properly, namely biodegradable, non-biodegradable, and recyclable. For the biodegradable, it consists of garbages that can be decomposed. For example, papers, peels of fruits and vegetables, and woods. For the non-biodegradable, it consists of plastic, cellophanes, ice wrappers, and biscuit wrappers. And for recyclable, it consists of the garbages that can be reused. For example, magazines, newspapers, and bottles. In life, it is essential for us to segregate our waste properly in order to protect everyone's health. Thank you for watching.
National Solid Waste Management Commission. What are the purpose of National Solid Waste Management Commission? The National Solid Waste Management Commission, or NSWMC, is the major agency tasked to implement Republic Act 9003, the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000. The law, signed in January 26, 2001, calls for the institutionalization of a national program that will manage the control, transfer, transport, processing, and disposal of solid waste in the country. Chaired by the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, also known as DENR, the Commission will prescribe policies to effectively achieve the objectives of RA 9003. It will oversee the implementation of appropriate solid waste management plans by end user and local government as mandated by law. The Commission is also ordered to establish the National Ecology Center, which will serve as the depot of information, research, database, training, and networking service for the implementation of the provision of the Solid Waste Management Act. It is composed of 17 commission members, 14 representatives from government agencies, and 3 representatives from the private sector. One of the 14 representatives from government agencies is the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, which is the DENR, the Department of Interior and Local Government, which is the DILG, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Public Works and Highways, Department of Health, Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Agriculture, Metro Manila Development Authority, League of Provincial Governors, League of City Mayors, League of Municipal Mayors, Association of Barangay Councils, Technical Educational and Skills Development Authority, and Philippine Information Agency. And the 3 representatives from private sector is the representative from non-government organization or NGOs, whose principal purpose is to promote recycling and the protection of air and water quality, and a representative from the recycling industry, and the representative from the manufacturing or packaging industry. The primary goal of solid waste management is to reduce and eliminate the adverse impacts of waste materials on the environment and human health. We people should be the number one protector of our environment, but sometimes we people are the reason why we protect our environment because we cause damage of our environment, we cause calamity in our environment, and we are the reason why our environment is very poor today. So we should be protecting our environment at all costs now, because at the end of the day, we are responsible for its cost.
PNP Master Plan Sangyaman Goals and Objectives. PNP Master Plan to help protect and preserve our environment, cultural properties, and natural resources. This material plan prescribes the guidelines to be followed by task PNP units, offices in assisting lead government agencies in the enforcement of laws over Philippine territorial waters, lakes, rivers, mountain ranges, forests, to include laws and ordinances that have been set forth to preserve, protect, and enhance our environment and natural resources. The Philippines is one of the countries in the world blessed with significantly rich natural resources. In fact, almost all kinds of minerals, metals, precious stones, animals, species, plants, and trees can be found in this very unique archipelago. PNP Master Plan Sangyaman is one of the newly published of compendium of 6 operational master plans that shall serve as a guiding tool of the organization to achieve its vision, mission, and goals. This compendium will surely help all PNP uniformed personnel to fully understand and effectively implement various operational plans designed to address major threats to criminality, safety, and security. Its timely publication is an indication of the PNP's sincere effort to truly make our country a safe place to live. PNP Master Plan Sangyaman objectives is to protect, conserve, and develop our environment and natural resources in coordination with and in direct support of all government agencies.
Republic Act 8749 or the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. What is Philippine Clean Air Act? The Philippine Clean Air Act is a comprehensive air quality management policy and program which aims to achieve and maintain healthy air for all Filipinos. So it means that there are many agencies behind this law, providing devices and program in order to reduce the air toxicity and contaminity. When was the law signed and who signed this law? So this law was signed on June 23, 1999 and signed by President Joseph Estrada. The purpose of this law is it protects many Filipinos from pollution-related health problems and premature death and improves the health and productivity of the Philippine workforce. It means that it will breathe less pollution and face lower risk of premature death and other serious health effects. Environmental damage from air pollution is reduced. The value of Clean Air Act health benefits far exceeds the cost of reducing pollution. Air Quality Control Action Plan. Limit and control the emission of any establishments in order to minimize or reduce the air toxicity. Provide establishments and appropriate devices. It means that this is necessary since it would easy to monitor and analyze the data of ambient air standard quality. Next, prohibiting any source of other types of emissions activity within the country from emitting any air pollutants in any amounts which will significantly contribute to the non-attainment cities. So, non-attainment cities means that it is the areas who do not pass the ambient air quality standard for consecutive 5 years. So what are the prohibited acts and penalties of this law? Number 1, burning of municipal waste. Any person who burns municipal waste in violation of Section 1 and 3 of Rule 25 shall be punished with 2 years and 1 day to 4 years imprisonment. So, the burning of municipal waste is these are the common burning happened in our areas, like burning small wastes in our surroundings. Number 2, burning of biomedical waste. Any person who burns biomedical waste in violation of Section 4, Rule 25 shall be punished with 4 years and 1 day to 6 years imprisonment. So it means that these are the burning of hospital waste that are containing infectious materials such as gloves and injections. So for the last one, the common violations is smoking in public places. Any person who smokes inside a public building or an enclosed public place, including public. So it means that these are the individual who smoking in the non-smoking areas like the public places. That's all. Thank you for watching.